Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and find our inner Brock and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or in this episode, I got to take it old school, right? This is not a real life couple. Well, I guess it depends who you talk to. If you talk to your Annie or your granny, they might be real. We're going to do Angie and Jesse Hubbard of All My Children. You know who they is?
No.
First, I called it children. Children.
From the stories?
Because, folks telling me how I speak. What'd you say?
From the stories?
From the stories. So, Angie and Jesse. So it was the early 80s, more than 30 years ago, when All My Children introduced the daytime TV's first black romance. Oh. It was Angie Baxter, her name Debbie Moore. You know the brown lady with the curly hair was Eased by You? Mm-hmm. That's her. Okay. And the auntie, I think, she was like the cool one, not whatchamacallit. Well, she was, we ain't about to go down East Bayou. And Jesse Hubbard, his name was Daryl Williams, met in the fictional Pine Valley, and despite their differences, love won, and their relationship spanned years, making its last appearance in 2011 in its transcended shows. It was featured on The City in Loving. They even stayed together despite Jesse ultimately untimely death in 1988. Was a little resurrection when it comes to love, right? I seen that it would the thing. You don't know the story.
No, I don't know stories.
What? All My Children with Jesse and Angie and Jesse.
My mama watched it, but
all the folks who know about it. Yeah, he died and he came back. You know how them stories be. It'd be like with Erica Kane, and who's the guy who played with Erica Kane that she married the guy and they was twin brothers?
I don't know.
Jesus, now that's gonna drive me crazy. Y'all know who I'm talking about with the white hair?
Nope.
You didn't watch no stories.
I ain't watched no stories.
I did watch All My Children in General Hospital. I'm trying to find the cast members.
I can't tell you who's who and what's what.
What?
Yes, I can't.
What is wrong with you?
What you mean? I didn't watch stories.
No, it's Angie. That's Susan Lucci. I'm looking for this guy. He might be way back. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Remember Michael B. Jordan was on there.
What?
Michael B. Jordan was on My Children. No. Mark Consuelos. You remember all these people?
No.
I'm trying to find this man. What is he at? That was married to Erica Kane. Oh man, I guess I'll look for it later. But I just love that type of love. Like as they say, it transitions. Love, time, and space. You didn't watch any stories.
No.
Bye.
It was boring.
The story was anything but boring. You must have been watching the right ones.
I was watching Dragon Ball Z.
Was there any black stories?
It's called the...
Don't say it. I don't even know what you're about to say, but I'm done. I'm done. I don't even want to know what you're about to say.
I was going to say some fuck shit on BT.
I know. No, I mean like just the stories that came on. I'm going through Eric Kane's husbands. One was Jeff Martin, Phil Brent, that ain't who it is, Tommy Cute and Nah, Adam Chandler. That's what I'm thinking about. Adam Chandler. Yeah, okay. Shout out to y'all who know what I'm talking about with that white hair. That's where I came in. That's what was my prime story time. Erica Kane was also a bad biddy too. I guess I'm the only one standing.
I don't even know who none of these people are that you're talking about. Let me see. Is it Erica with a C or Erica with a K?
E. Oh, what? Erick. It'll come up. Erica Kane.
Is it Kane with a C or a K?
I think it's a C. It'll come up.
Oh.
You see her? Come on. Look, Nero. Look at this man. You don't remember this? No. That old white man? Okay, come on. Who is you?
I'm Nero.
And I'm Nyambi.
And evidently, I don't know what the hell Nyambi talking about.
All My Children is my favorite soap opera.
This is episode 136, yo.
Hey, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Be sure to leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. And follow us on all forms of social media at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's black with no K.
Yeah.
What's your check-in?
Nero, we got always our little check-ins. Usually we don't write anything. We'll write with just one word just to keep us on track. Nero done did some fuckboy shit and do what fuck niggas and bitches do. And gonna link this story about a sorority.
Oh, which one?
Don't worry about which one. I don't know. It's allegedly. I'm not sure which one.
No.
About some type of sexual misconduct investigation. What the fuck is going on? So I got to speak on it. Niram, you was shady for that.
What you talking about?
But you know, this the Black Love Matters community. We shared the good, bad, and the ugly.
They couldn't find the green, so they gave up the pink.
Oh my God! Oh, don't do that. So it said in March, before a gymnasium packed with friends and family, blah, 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 21 young women at the Fort Valley State University in Central Georgia, they crossed over and joined the organization. A month later, the Fort Valley chapter of the same sorority is now bogged down in a scandal over allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment. This is crazy. So an Atlanta-based magazine called Rollin' Out reported that the controversy involves allegations that recent members of the sorority were involved in a sex ring to pay for pledging in the organization. Citing unnamed sources, the magazine alleged that the customers included local businessmen and politicians. The controversy centers around, I don't want to say who these people is. I don't put their business out there like that. Y'all can Google it if you want. It looks like it's an employee and a graduate advisor to the campus. Oh my goodness. This person resigned from her position at the university as news of a criminal investigation broke on campus in April. The scandal has lit a firestorms of speculation on social media in the tight-knit world of HBCUs and universities. On Monday, the attorney said to address accusations that the sorority hopefuls are pinned down to get money for the organizations. It says, I think this is just insidious. I know people want to be in a sorority. I got that part. I just don't think they're going to sell their body. But plus, it's inconsistent with the reputation of this known sorority. According to this Atlanta Journal-Constitution, both the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the University System of Georgia have been investigating reports of sexual misconduct and hazing tied to the school's chapter. The sorority's national office is also looking into unauthorized activities, misconduct involving current and former members. Jesus. The same letter disqualified this Fort Valley chapter from participating in sorority activities while the investigations continue. In a statement, who said this statement to Atlanta 11 Live? What are these sources? The office says that it's a zero tolerance policy for hazings. Fuck hazing, nigga. We talk about sexual harassment. Ma'am, can we focus? We're talking about, I'm going to finish this article, but we talking about bitches selling their body? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
And you talking about this a nine? Hey, fuck hazing. Is someone pimping these hoes? I mean, these girls? I ain't mean that. That was a 40th slip. Is someone pimping them? Talk about this a nine hazing. Hazing? Is this a pimp hoe ring going on? Fuck hazing. That's the least of your worries.
Some will call this hazing.
Hazing. This is not you're hazing. Going out in the woods and playing. No. It's someone pimping out people. That is the issue. Call a thing a thing. We are non-hazing. It's just, we ain't talking about hazing. Mm-hmm. Getting money. Okay. The person's attorney maintains she's innocent. She's not a pimp. See what I just said? I done got distracted. She's not a pimp and she's not a madam. None of that. She's not guilty. She did not do anything. The allegations are not only the most recent news to trouble Fort Valley State University. In June 2017, that was last year, the school came under scrutiny after receiving, accreditation warnings. Wait a damn minute. Fort Valley, y'all shouldn't even have no Greek organizations. Y'all should just be focusing on academics. From the Southern Association of Colleges and School Commissions on Colleges, it said that the university did not fulfill the core requirements such as programs that support student learning and hold on. So this school is also up for losing its accreditation because it didn't support student learning. Why do you go to college? To
pledge.
Shut up. Why do you go to college? Don't do that, because Greek organizations are a great thing. Like, I'm gonna come help them in a little bit, but this is bullshit. But what do you go to college for? To what?
Pledge.
To learn. And they talking about they don't have programs that support student learning. Financial aid, okay. College is a business. You got to make your money. Fine. Nobody got money. But student learning? So that's telling me you don't got no writing center. You don't got no W center. No, not W. I'm losing train of thought. What's the math center? I'm not sure what the university would call it. Something like that. Yeah. They don't got none of that. That's also telling me that their science labs or lack thereof are not there. That's telling me that their writing courses aren't up to par when it comes. What the fuck is going on here? Amid the sorority inquiry, the Georgia Bureau, this is the FBI, is also investigating. Whoa, what the hell is going on here? Amid this, I'm sorry, I'm reading it out loud to y'all. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is also investigating an alleged sexual battery incident that took place between an 18-year-old female student and a former Police. Throw the school away. What is happening here? I didn't know all this was a part of this, Nerums. I'm reading through it. The person in the organization, I guess they reaching out to all the reps who are part of this organization to asking them how they feel. Shit, reach out to Nyambi. This don't got shit to do with no letters. It's some shit going on here. I done told y'all once before, the letters don't make me. I make the letters. Pull that shit aside. First of all, that person was going to be a madam regardless of what letter she's put on, okay? Or whatever alleged she is. Whoever, maybe she ain't do it. Maybe she done put them in contact. You know how folks be tricky with language, right? I don't know what happened. Whoever told them girls to go do what they going to do, they was going to do it regardless, right? What? To be a soror. Oh, they is just being savage in this. It's the Latin word for sister. And they talking about the pledge process or, you know, the initiation fees. I mean, can we talk about these initiation fees? So they saying the MPHC fees range anywhere between $700 to $2,500. Oh my God. I don't even know if I should read anymore. Hazing. They keep talking about hazing some more. It is somebody at the income lane. She's been demonized by social media, but not one piece of evidence that shows what's happening. Well, how they say she the madam? Did the girl say it then?
Because she the advisor.
That's why you got to be. I remember my college, I said, I can support you. Because y'all play too much on campus.
Didn't you advise? Were you
briefly,
a graduate advisor?
Very briefly. It went in for my own, briefly. I should have known when they ain't want to set their own. It is. It's hard to be a graduate advisor to undergraduate chapters. Like, you used to have to worry about hazing, honey, but I don't know what's going on
now
here.
You got to worry about pimping.
Okay, how do we unpack this? There's levels to this. It's the Greek piece to it.
There's the second.
The set. That's a sex ring.
The sex ring.
Forget Greek. This is a sex ring. Mm-hmm. And low key, can we have real talk? I done heard girls when you go to these different colleges and some very prestigious colleges that look for girls, brown women, or just women in particular that then go and be escorts to some of these high profile men. I have heard that. Mm-hmm. But it's, you know, this is what we talking about, bringing race into it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened with these? This is wrong, right? It's a variety of things are wrong here. But y'all let me know out there. I know I'm not the only one who have heard of girls getting connected with other folks. And they'll just call it escorts. Like, I've heard girls like, oh, I just go on dates with him. I'm just his sugar baby. Bitch, that's a hoe. Like, that's a conversation to have about college campus. Yeah. And I don't know if it happened to any men, but I can assume it happened to men too. If you get pimped out, I'm sure it's some women, hell, other men who would love to have a little 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old on their shoulder who, when they take them out, they talk cute. And all you got to do is pay them probably a G because they owe some books. Right. You know, they cheap at that age, right? $1,000 to change your life in college. And you just got to get $1,000 just for a few hours?
Shit, nigga, $500 to change my life in college.
Ooh, you a cheap date.
Surely is.
That's what you see what I'm saying. Like, the college students, especially first gen students, especially low income students, can be a very vulnerable population because they feel as there's nothing they can do because they on campus. I told y'all when I was working, I remember the lowest I remember being paid on college was like $5.75, $6 an hour. What the fuck I'm gonna do with that? Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? What's the lowest? Like, that ain't the low. I think the lowest I remember paid was like $5.15.
Yeah, that's the lowest I've ever been paid growing up was $5.15. Yeah, but.
I remember on college it wasn't that big of a difference. I think it was something big when the minimum wage went up like $7.25. Yeah. Ooh.
But at the black college, I think I was getting paid cheap, lower than that.
Yeah. So like, again, I'm not making an excuse for that, but I can see, you know, they said this was for sorority dudes. Fuck that. But outside of that, like I said, I've heard, like, I am not Nyambi, but I done heard stories from girls that be like, yeah, I just kick it with him and he just want to go on dates sometimes and he give me money. You know, young Nayan be thinking like, I think that's a hoe. But it was never the ownership of it, right? You know, because it's levels to this, right? You can own this shit, right? If you own, this is what the fuck I do. I go out today, he give me my money. I'm very clear on what I do. But thinking back on it now in hindsight, these girls, like I said, I didn't know any men, but some of these girls, I don't think they realized the game that was being pulled on it. Like, and even in me, intuitively, like, I was like, did that sound right? You know, you're young, right? 18-year-old Nayan be like, I don't know if that's how it works.
You over here, that don't pass the taste test. That do not pass the taste
because it wasn't
test.
the thing. Like, it wasn't. Not that I'm older, right? Now that I'm older, I know. Like, if that's what you're gonna do, know what you're doing, right? Know what you're doing, why you're doing it. No strings attached. Like, clear minded. Know why you're doing it. But being that young is a little bit of, he just thinks I'm super smart and he likes to have good conversation. No, he don't, bitch. That ain't what this is.
No comment.
Right? It's taking advantage of the situation. And now that I didn't even come full circle until I read this story.
Yeah.
But we can get back to the story at hand. What the hell, y'all? These girls is selling their body to be part of an organization? Fuck that. My heart hurts for them. I'm on my Christian walk to feel as if they had to sell their bodies for that, and that organizations was worth their bodies.
Right.
That's the price too low. You know what I'm saying? They said they selling catfish dinners.
No.
Get up, like, you know what I'm saying? I can see that. Now, if you're gonna sell some cookies, actually props to that. If you about to do you a catfish dinner, fry you some chicken, do you a bake sale, have you a house party,
for some dudes,
sell some clothes, sell a TV, fine. You know what I'm saying? I can rock with that. But selling your body, Auntie Nyambi got to come have a conversation with you, sis, and we got to go talk to a counselor, because that's way too low a price for you. You know what I'm saying? That's way too low of a price, and that's what I'm more hurt to say, sis. Your price that's too low. There is no limit to that, not for no organization. Mm-mm. And and us as Greece, we need to talk about this price, right? We need to talk about the price of joining it. Like, I think it's about getting back to the core values of the organization. And of course, I remember even going through my process, and it was like, joining this organization is not how did they used to say? It's not a right, it's a privilege. And it's privilege cost.
Right.
The climate we're moving in, maybe we need to readjust that lens. You know what I'm saying? If we're to support all mankind and to help each other and to help Black women, especially in the climate that we're in today, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying go on PayPal, make payment plans, but something else got to give, right?
My thing is why it costs so damn much.
Don't ask me. I'm a general member. Barely. But after this, they're going to make me go find me a chapter on the West Coast and be like, Soros, the fuck is this? The fuck? And I want to go to the president and be like, hey, bitch.
Is this a serious matter?
Talk about, is this hazing? Is that really the question we're talking about? Hazing? No. This is bigger than that, sis. Hazing?
Well, that's what they like to call it when the Greek organizations.
Hazing?
Call a thing a thing.
Don't minimalize this. These girls were selling their bodies. Is it hazing? Fuck hazing. They selling their body. We got bigger conversations to be had. And maybe I'm taking this. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm too close. Is it hazing? Fuck hazing. Why are these girls selling their bodies?
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly. Why? Not to join this? No offense. And I say that in the meeting. Not for this. I hang out with y'all on Saturday morning.
And we're all white.
But that hurts me, right?
Yeah.
And I, as a member of a sorority, it's like we're doing these girls disservice. We fucked up. We fucked up. All of us. All the Divine Nine need to take a step back and say, what the fuck is going on here? That's a problem. That's my rant as a Greek. We fucked up, all of us. The sororities and the fraternities. We're fucking up if this is what we're getting to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I truly agree.
I think we fucking up when we come to this. Even with the hazing. Like, I know it's like, even when the folks is dying, joining, like, this is crazy.
Like, niggas are getting their ass whooped.
Yeah, like, this is crazy. This is not the purpose of these organizations. And I say that because I've been a part of a sisterhood and have friends, male and female, that are part of these organizations that are amazing, right? Mm-hmm. It is about uplifting Black culture. It's about educating yourself. It's about helping each other, right? It's about Black pride. It's about having self-efficacy. It's about moving forward. But it gets lost when shit like this is going on.
Is it about getting your ass whooped?
No.
Oh.
Ain't about getting your ass whooped. Ain't about selling pussy. Ain't about who got the most. It's not about that. But somehow the message has gotten there. Mm-hmm. And that's our fault. And we got to own it. Look, they need Nyambi to go do a healing session. Because we got to take some ownership of this, Divine Nine. We got to look at ourselves in the eye to say we went wrong somewhere. Somewhere our message is getting delivered wrong. Because this is not what it's supposed to be. Especially with the climate that's going on, right?
Right.
Especially with the climate that's going on. We should be hyper aware to this. And like I said, I don't know what's going on with this woman, the advice. I don't know what happened. But like I said, and all truth is a little lie and all lies is a little truth. So something going on with something selling somebody ain't supposed to be selling. Now, I don't know who did what, how, who let. Something's going on that's not supposed to be going on. I can tell you that. That's my first part of the degree. You got anything to say about that? These girls are selling. Could you imagine being their parents or their guardians?
Jesus.
Where you begin? Who asked you what first?
Shit.
Who asked you what first?
Shit.
Them? The advisor? The sorority? The campus?
Or your daughter.
The daughter? Right? Because you be like, I love you, right? You didn't come to me. Why? You know? I don't like this. And this is traumatic, right? People are going to need to be healed over this. We're going to have to heal over this. I'm going to get on the hitter and see what everybody... I'm going to see if I got something from the National Journal. Let me go hit refresh on my email.
Check your email.
I don't know if it hit national news yet. Oh, no, Washington Post. Never mind.
It is Washington Post. This is national news.
That, I don't know. It just something tugs at me. And it's something tugs at me for them young girls. For somebody, whoever that somebody was, to say, oh, this is an idea.
Yeah.
And them
To be like,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Like, oh, you ain't got dudes money? Go suck some dick. Like what?
Yes. Or eat some coochie. I don't know what the fuck they doing. That is not okay.
No.
That's not okay. And that's what I'm saying about having transparent conversations with our youth. And that's why I told y'all parents or aunties, uncles, cousins, when y'all sending y'all kids to college, it ain't no joke. Like, at least we can teach kids how to study, how to learn. That's easy. It's the other shit that get people caught up.
But
It's the other shit that get people caught up.
This actually reminds me of a story of me being at a black college. And something similar.
What?
Something similar happened.
Oh, Neil can't even get it right.
Yeah,
What
something similar happened. So,
I've never heard of not tied to sorority. I've heard of girls messing around with other men, but I've never heard of a tied to sorority dude. That's crazy.
So I was like kind of kicking it with this girl or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like going to the movies or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then like things went far or was going far.
Yeah.
And then like she was like, well, before we start, like it's going to be like 100, 75 or whatever. It's like, whoa.
Hold on. Did you take her on a date?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought? Allegedly a date. But see, I'm saying at least she in her right mind to be like, sir, this is what it is.
So, but I was like,
oh, damn. She probably pimping all you niggas.
So I was taken aback. Like,
yeah.
What? And I'm like, I'm from Detroit.
I don't.
But one of the things she did say is like, oh, I'm trying to play such and such and such, and dudes ain't cheap.
Get the fuck out of here.
So
we got healing.
So I left the situation and said, well, nah.
No.
But
because I thought this was a mutual.
Right.
I thought this was a mutual, agreement. I thought we mutually are both enjoying this.
Right.
And you're a college student. How much? And she said, how much? 150.
Yeah. But she was like as the semester went on, that's what the football team talked about.
Jesus. This is I'm really upset about this. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm very upset about this and sad for them, right? I'm sad for them.
Like that's what the football team talked about. And like being 17 at the point. 17. I didn't even know really
and
what.
And imagine getting caught up and
a lot of niggas did caught up in that shit.
Get caught up in. And then, so, the police ain't gonna flesh this out like this shit. You know what I'm saying? And these girls ain't prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? These girls ain't prostitutes. And you know what if they get caught up on like prostitution charges? But if you do tell us who you slept with, then we won't. And then now you bringing these my God. Could you see the domino effect that this could have? Oh my God. This is disgusting. I don't know who. I'm mad at the person who put this in their brain to say, go do this. Because that's what done happen. Who planted the seed? That's what I'm pissed at. That's what I'm disgusted about.
And it really is disturbing. Like I said, being 17, it's
you
like,
don't know. They
don't even know.
Don't even know how to pee straight. Yeah.
Right.
What they say, your shit's still green. Shit's still yellow.
Mm-hmm. So if that happened, shit, that was like 2004. So I can only imagine
what it is, right? And I was lucky enough to, when I came through that, although we went to a PWI, so Brown, we struggled, right? But it was never to this point of this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we hustled up on the summer, got extra jobs, but it just really disturbs me. And y'all, if y'all got girls, boys too, I'm sure it's happening on their end. If they're going to colleges, have these conversations with them and be open and transparent with what the hell is going on. Secondly, what the hell did Fort Valley State say they losing their accreditation? Nigga, that ain't just something that should be a one sentence. That's huge.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Like this, people are paying tuition to get degrees. And although it be in a fine print sometimes for jobs, it usually says a 4-year degree from an accredited university. Mm-hmm. But you assume just because you're at a college, it's accredited. Like that's a privilege we have in America, right?
Right. But you fucking around your ass at Morris Brown.
Don't leave Morris Brown. If you're at Fort Valley and you lose the accreditation, guess what? Your degree is null and void for that job.
Right.
And again, we're not talking about because sometimes HBCUs you lose accreditation, and it's not fair because like money, like they only have so much money. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have so much money to give them like scholarships and all that type of stuff, you do lose accreditation, right?
Right.
And that's rough because sometimes because they're funded alumni and probably we don't have the money. But this clearly stated that it was what did I say? It was about student learning. I can't find the right word because I wanted to quote they ass, but it didn't have resources for student learning or financial aid. So what? So one, you're telling me you don't have the professors equipped to teach the students, like their credentials not matching up. Like,
who you got teaching these motherfuckers? High school?
What you mean you don't got the
high school graduates,
or you don't have enough,
or enough? Yeah, PhDs to actually run the college.
What is going? Lastly, what the hell is this about a student who done got sexually assaulted by a police officer allegedly? What? It's a lot going on here.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot going on here. And that's what I'm saying. They worry about pledging. Shut that down. And again, I'm going back to blame the Divine Nine. Divine Nine, you need to be checking the credentials of these universities. If they not passing accreditation, you don't need to have no chapter here.
Right.
Because y'all need to focus on your studies. Your arithmetic. What do you say? Arithmetic.
3 R's.
I'm trying to figure out what my grandparents used to call it. Not just study. Your lesson.
Right. Reading.
You need to focus.
Writing.
Arithmetic.
You
need to focus on your lessons, not joining sorority. Right. I don't know. I didn't mean to go on that rant, but something about this is like.
But we know people that
arithmetic.
All they want in their life is to be Greek.
Yes, but hopefully sometimes when and if they do join, it's the conversation that's like, okay, you done made it, air quote, here. But you gonna have to, you fucking up the chapter GPA.
You done seen the light.
Do you know, you done seen these lights, fine. You hear the light, you done cross these sands, they hot, fine. But where your GPA at? When you graduating? What the fuck is you majoring in, right? You need to add to the good of the organization.
Nigga. What Strohs we going at? Okay. Where the cream at? What parties we going to?
No, that's some all illusions. Don't let Stomp the Yard fool y'all. I spent plenty of hours in the library just to make sure our GPA is where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real shit. That's shit they don't be telling you.
Miami was hard trying to get that 4.0.
Come on. It upsets me because Greek organizations can be, especially for people of color, right? Mm-hmm. They don't have to be the Divine Nine. So any minority, underrepresented organization that's like that, I'm not the one that, I know some Greeks be like, nah, we don't. No. I think any underrepresented organization like that, when you come together as a group and strong as a community, you can do brilliant things. Mm-hmm. But then you get shit like this,
right? That
you be like, whoa. That's why we gotta have real talk with each other. Like, this is some bullshit. And I do believe Divine Nine, MPHC, when y'all have y'all national conference, something got to be said. This can't just be a one organization thing. This has to be across all organizations. Mm-hmm. To say this is unacceptable. You got to come together, right? This is the time for Divine Nine to come together and bonds on it, not on my watch, right? And I need y'all to come out with initiatives to support this, right? Them need to be the new pillars. So we need to dig a little deeper into the sexual assault. Like, this is the pillars.
You know what? Also,
and talk about money. We really need to talk about, is money going to be the barrier to gain access to our organization?
You also got to look at the old heads.
So are we saying if you don't have a certain amount of money, you can't sit with us? You can't be a
part of us.
Knowing that, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. You can't sit with us if you don't have enough amount of money. Mm-hmm. Then we going back to that old black bourgeois. Like, right. We can have a whole episode on this. But that's not what these organizations are supposed to be for.
You said a lot. I think a lot needs to be unpacked. But I also think, as a person who's just
a GDI.
Well, I am the light.
Oh,
you know.
You said y'all ain't in the news, huh? Y'all ain't in the news.
You never see the Masons in
you
the
ain't hear
news.
Eastern Stars doing it.
You ain't never heard about the OES doing this.
You ain't.
You never hear about the Stars doing this.
You don't.
You never hear about the Squares doing this.
Jesus. But we come lose our damn.
Just saying.
Because it's college, right? It's when people be having psychotic breaks.
Right.
It is true. People have psychotic breaks, and the highest case of schizophrenia is at college age.
Absolutely. Okay. But I think, just being in situations, hearing situations, and even like my own experience, sometimes it's the fucking old heads that goes to that egg this bullshit on. Because they be like, well, this is shit I've been through to go through the burning sands. And this shit you get to do too. I had to suck a little dick to get some money.
What?
It's like, sis.
Jesus. We got to heal you. That wasn't right. They might make me be back involved in this organization a little deeper because obviously no one's speaking up, and we absolutely dropped the ball on this. Mm-hmm. The ball has been beyond dropped. Dropped, kicked down the street. We forgot it was a ball. We got to go get that motherfucker and pick it up and walk it back, right?
But I think, I think that.
Because before we get to this point, we've been inching towards this point for a while there. It just ain't happened. We ain't go from 0 to 100. Shit like this been creeping. Mm-hmm. Was letting me know that either the university or the national organization got a sniff of this years ago. It ain't nipped the shit in the butt. Mm. Again, I'm sorry for those young ladies that had to go through this. I don't know what happened. I hope everyone is healed. Oh, I'm checking in.
Oh, 30 minutes later. No, but
you claim me for speaking my heart.
No, you got to, baby. This is therapy. What we said at the beginning? Therapy session. So go ahead and get it out of you.
My last little day, I don't got much.
You ain't found no therapist yet, so go ahead and get it out.
I gotta find me a therapist, y'all. Let me know if y'all know any good ones out on the West Coast. Actually, I'm giving myself 1 week. I'm getting on that hitter this weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting to get my insurance card.
You might need to go to Oakland.
I don't care where I gotta go.
I heard that's where the niggas at.
I don't care. I can even see a non-person of color. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
A white person. What is that double negative? A non-person
of color. What? White?
Oh yeah, I'm just tired.
You gonna give your business to a colonizer?
But child, sometimes you just got to let it out.
Yeah.
But I'm just blessed. I'm blessed and I'm getting a little tired, but it's like a weird tired because I still haven't fully adjusted to West Coast time. Mm-hmm. So no matter how late I go to bed West Coast time, I still wake up East Coast time. It's really strange.
3 a.m. every day.
Because I try to like trick myself to like, oh, okay, I'm going to stay up to like, I know that ain't late, but like 11, midnight all week, right? So my body's like, you're tired, ho. You are tired, get your sleep. But like clockwork, I still wake up like at 4:35 a.m. Like half up. And then I'm able to go back to sleep, but then my alarm goes out a couple hours later.
Are you taking any melatonin?
No.
You should do that. It works.
Yeah.
Go get you a little tea, take a little melatonin around that 11 o'clock hour. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. Because I ultimately want to start going to bed about 10:30. Mm-hmm. Like I think that's my sweet spot. And then so I can wake up naturally, right? If I go to bed at 10:30, I'm naturally waking up at 6.
And then
like without any pressure.
The thing is the sun's so bright. It goes right through the sunlight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I feel good, right? Mm-hmm. That's like my feel good time. If I go to bed between 10 and 10:30, I'm feeling good. When I get probably about 11:30ish, something happens after 11:30 and my eyes is turning to bags. But overall, I'm just blessed. The whole orientation that I'm going through, I might have found my tribe out here.
Yeah.
Professionally, I should say. I haven't found my personal. Well, actually, I have. We have, Tam and Dan. We got family and friends out here. I think they're a part of my community tribe. But I finally found, I think, my professional tribe. And I think before I thought I did, but I haven't. Like, I truly think I'm coming into my professional
genius zone.
Yeah. To the point where, like, folks are bouncing ideas, and I'm like, damn, that is good as hell. Like, or they'll say something. I'm like, yeah, that's good. And I'm able to give them feedback, or I'll say something. They're like, man, I like when you say X, Y, and Z. And I was like, damn, I didn't even know. Is that what the fuck I said?
Right.
Like, compared to being in environments when they be like, oh, yeah, that's good. That's just how you be Nyambi. Or when we brainstorm and I'm the only one excited about the brainstorm, right? And throwing wild shit up there because that's just how I brainstorm. Like, I know I'm throwing wild shit out there. I know we ain't going to end there, but shit, I need somewhere to I don't know, jump to, right? I don't want to just think of little shit. Like, I want to think of big shit. So just having other folks to bounce that off of, right? And people who, and not being the only person who's asking questions. So I think sometimes professionally, that's what I turn into, like constantly the question answer, and having other people ask me questions to make me think differently about stuff too. And like, I'm managing a team of folks too. So really getting into, I don't know, I want to say this out loud. I don't want this to come off disrespectful. I've never managed a team of fully competent people.
God damn it.
And this is going to be different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about telling my manager that. And I don't know if that's shade. I don't know if that's too raw. And I'm nervous about that. Like, I could manage a team, but I've only managed a team of incompetent people.
Uh-huh.
And it has to look different.
So when you manage somebody who's fully competent in the shit they do.
That's what I'm worried about, right? I think that worry's not the word. That's where I'm having a little.
You don't even know what to do with your hands because you ain't got to micromanage nobody.
Is that, what's that police? I promise y'all we don't live in the hood. What is that? Do y'all hear it?
Shit.
What's going on? Let me go listen on a patio.
What the hell is going on here in Colonizer Valley?
Ain't nobody told us they was killers out here too.
Shit.
No,
man, got my gun to protect us. Get a
silly.
knife.
You said get a little, please, one of these paper knives? Don't do it. Just get an illusion of safety. But so I'm a little, that's why I'm a little, like, the first thing of creative ideas, executing tasks, I think I'll be able to do that. Like, it'll be challenging, right? But I think that's something I can really dig my teeth into. But what I am a little nervous about is having a whole team full of ready and competent
who are
people
chomping at the bit.
who waiting.
Nyambi.
Like, to the point when orientation, there was somebody I was going to directly report to in orientation. She done already went in the system and found out that I'm going to be her manager and came up to me. I didn't know who she was. Hey, sis. Hey, sis. You my manager. And she was a little younger too. I said, okay. Mm-hmm. I said, really?
How old is everybody you mentioned? Like 12?
There was a variety of age. If we did the bell curve, I would say the majority of people there are between the ages of youngest. I probably seen maybe 21. I was thinking in my mind, Jesus, if I got this job at 21, you couldn't tell.
Man,
me
what?
Shit. You couldn't tell Nyambi's
nigga.
Not Nyambi or Nirum's nothing. 21. Yeah, it's a couple, not many, but there's a couple babies in there. 21 to about 27. Mm-hmm. It's the majority. And then you got some old heads like me.
Gotcha.
And then you got some, it's like my age group, so mid-30s. And it's maybe like 5 people that's 40 and over, maybe 5. They call themselves the gray hairs. Oh. That's like they named themselves. There's only a few of them. But the chunk of it is that mid-20s.
Gotcha.
So I that's what I'm a little. So I've been reading through a little bit of y'all know I believe in reading in the literature, some books, and I think I'm just be pretty transparent. I don't know. You think that's too transparent to say?
No, I think
I don't know how to say that. Not in a mean way. Like, I'm not being disrespectful.
I think you should say it like you just said it.
What?
Because the thing is, like, we've been in academia so long is that.
It ain't even academia. I'm talking about the box story.
No, but like I was just saying, like academia, box story, it's a lot of red tape and it's a lot of, as much as they say free thinking, it's not free thinking. Yeah. And it's only free thinking to a certain limit if it has to do something with the PIs.
You can choose what cookie you want. Whatever cookies you want sometimes. You can't get the stuffed cookies.
But it's not free thinking. But here in Colonizer Valley,
it's totally free thinking.
Solely and truly free thinking.
It is.
And it's almost scary.
It's fear.
Have you been liberated to really think that free?
No, they don't want you to.
Next thing you know, you start talking like Kanye.
Oh, no. Well, Kanye need to write in his damn journal. Everybody got to write to their opinions, but some shit you just got to write it in a song or in your journal kind. But so that's the only thing that I'm like, whew, what the that? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I'm a little, what does that managing look like, right? I know it looks like an encouragement. I know, I don't know.
Yeah, because for you really going to have to learn where to put your hands, because if they're all competent and they know what the hell they're doing, they do their job
well. My hand does not belong in what they're doing. Yeah. I guess my job as a manager is then to make their job easier. So my question to them is, what could I do to make your job easier? Mm-hmm. Or what areas do you see we can improve on?
And I think you're very great at that. Mm-hmm. Like, you're very intuitive to like finding out like what people need and like providing that before they can even ask or even think that they need that. Mm-hmm. I think you're very good at that.
So I don't know. That's my only thing. Like, ooh, do I bring you food? I don't know. It's a cupcake.
Look,
I don't.
Go to lunch. You've been here too long.
Yeah, maybe stuff like that. So if y'all have any tips on that y'all manage, that anybody managing a really high functioning, high productive team, I'm looking for tips on how to do that, right? Because I already know they go bad bitch contests come. All of them are brilliant. Everyone's brilliant. Everyone's brilliant. Like I have no fear. Even the one that I'm like, still brilliant, right? You know what I'm saying? Quirky, but brilliant. I'm not worried about getting the work done. So
Gotcha.
We'll see. All right, that's all I'm done. I'm done my check-in. I don't want to do it too long.
Well, I was gonna have a Kanye rant, but I think I'll leave it for Friday.
What you done did? Can we do a little baby one?
This nigga first got a song out with him and T.I., and it's called Ye versus the People. And it's like Kanye trying to explain himself, and like T.I. is answering the question, or like being the people. And then you got that interview, and Kanye was like, "But do you see me as free thinking?"
Oh, with Van Latham?
Yeah.
Is that his name? I don't know what it is. Yeah, maybe we talk about Friday so I can, because I briefly said
because he's like, "You're not thinking."
He has to. Words mean things, Kanye, and your platform. I just don't know.
I'm gonna leave it for Friday.
You hear me? I'm tired.
I'm still jet lagged, so
and he got them children. He got them black children.
I'm gonna leave it for Friday.
He got that black boy. Them black girls.
But it's same as for you. Like, it's very exciting to play a supporting role right now. While I look for my things, so like taking you to work, picking you up.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive myself eventually.
Happy, and like you sending pictures and just like looking at the pictures and being like, "Damn, she really got joy."
Yeah,
and like really being like shaking my head, like, "Damn, this is what joy looks like."
Yeah,
I hope I can get a tenth of that.
Oh my goodness,
a tenth of that.
Oh, you think I'll look happy there?
Yes, baby. You sent that picture from when you was taking pictures.
Yeah.
I said, look
First
at that
of all,
joy.
if anybody takes pictures during orientation of a new job, you already know.
Look at this. Look, in the middle of orientation.
And none of my other jobs, I have never taken
in the middle of orientation taking selfies and shit. I'm like, this nigga got joy. Look at this.
Yeah.
You been a little nestled.
Yeah.
Your little glow is different.
You stupid. All people aren't bad. You already know how I feel about colonizers. All colonizers ain't bad. I mean, all white people. All white people aren't colonizers.
You said it right. All colonizers ain't bad. Just the colonizers.
All white people aren't bad. Just like all Negroes ain't bad. Different episode.
But as far as like you, like seeing you being your genius zone coming home these past couple of days and just being excited, the new it's like a rebirth of Nyambi when it comes to like joy and happiness, especially with all the stuff that we've been through. So like I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited about like the new news and things you be like, man, did you know X, Y, and Z, or just a little fun fact. So that's very exciting. It's just really for me, just trying to figure out where I'm gonna land in this whole thing, and just trying to figure out, and
know it'll come.
Yeah, and I know it would, and I think that's the most interesting, the exciting and nerve-wracking part at the same time is being like, all right, I know this is going to come. I know I'm going to land somewhere great, but when it's going to be here. And just learning like the patience aspect of it, and just knowing that I got to do what I got to do. So hustling up, networking, and like reaching out to all my networks that, people, like for example, I reached out to all my running people, reached out to anybody I ever met in this area, and just being like, hey, y'all, like I'm in the area, love to grab some lunch.
Yeah.
Let's talk. And like my main things is like, let's talk. Let's see what you've been doing. Let's catch up. Yeah. And then I got 2 points, like affordable housing and how do I get a job out here?
Yeah.
So, and I think for Nyambi's standpoint, like Nyambi's like the 1% of the 1%. Like Nyambi put out this application and got chosen from billions and
I don't know about billions,
but like what you were saying, like the stats of at your place.
We don't got to say the stats.
No,
you can Google the stats.
but the stats are pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, I mean it's Silicon Valley. Ain't a lot of us out here anyway. We need more. If y'all looking for somewhere to be, I really suggest y'all looking at any organization. Big, small, old, new, really look at Silicon Valley. It's some major opportunities out here, y'all. No matter what your field. It does not have to just be tech. I think that was my misconception.
So that's one of the things, like looking at the stats, and they're very impressive. Yeah. And also being like, there's so many companies out here that it's almost overwhelming. So just trying to figure out what is the most efficient way to pursue gainful employment out here.
Yeah.
and doing it in an efficient way. So, been doing some research on like headhunters and recruiters and just trying to figure out like who do I talk to figure out to say, all right, this is my resume. This is what I've been doing. This is what I'm great at. Where do you think I can land?
Yeah.
And how do I get in the door so I can land? So I think that's very interesting. Like I said, it's also nerve-wracking. I know we got a few months that I have time to work on it, but also just thinking about when I do go back to White Ass New England to finish up the house stuff, like what can I actually do to keep that process going, because that's one of the things that you really don't want to lose is like that momentum. And like when you first move here, like everything's new and exciting. Everybody want to meet with you and things of that sort, but it almost feel like it's a little stagnation when we're like, oh, I'm only here for it this long and I'll be back in about a month. And then it's almost like,
you lose the momentum.
Did I lose that momentum? Do I got to regain it when I come back and things of that sort?
Yeah.
Because I even think about like, that meeting I got in June. Like, damn.
Yeah, because even when you told me the meeting was in June, I said, what month is this?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like if I was here just a little bit longer, maybe I could have had that meeting. Yeah. But like, now I got to wait till June until I get back.
Yeah.
So just even thinking about that there's a lot of opportunities. You got to strike with the iron hot. And that's one of the things I'm all about. It's like speed, just the speed of getting something up and going. And and even for like this job situation, the speed of like getting up and going and, finding contacts, finding who are the gatekeepers and things of that sort. So if anybody has worked with a recruiter or know a recruiter, I would love just to pick their brain just to figure out like what's best to.
The entrepreneurs don't like that word, pick brains.
I know.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Yes.
If you have some time, if you have some mental bandwidth, just be up front.
Right.
I'd like to ask you some questions if you have the mental bandwidth.
Right.
If you're willing to do just a little bit of goodness in your heart.
Right.
Because I think so. That's a separate episode too. We need to talk about. We should have talked about when we had our panel there. So being an entrepreneur and how do you balance helping people and saying.
Versus.
The thing is, sometimes you just can't help everybody. You pick and choose. But I do think some folks don't like when I say this. I think as people of color, we do have an obligation to help other people of color. And I know a lot of my friends like, hell no,
I ain't helping that nigga.
But I do feel like there's maybe obligation is the wrong word, but there's a sense of, I don't know, the ancestors. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I just keep going back to the ancestors. I'm sure there's a lot of ancestors in the battle. Like, I'm done fighting for these Negroes.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? It had to be ancestors. Like, I'm in the struggle. I fought for freedom. Only me and my line should get freedom, not yours. Right? It was for everybody. So I feel like that sense, I feel like that's our battle cry, right? So if the ancestors, like you said, had to fight off the German shepherds, escape slavery, the least we can do is talk to some of these children,
right? And be like,
even if they out of pocket, to be like, even if the advice is you're out of pocket, try again, like something. I feel like it's, I don't know, obligation's not the word. Duty, maybe duty's a better word. Yeah.
Civic duty.
Yeah, to be like, oh, Jesus, let me help you. Because every once in a while, you do find someone that by you, you know what, you are brilliant. You have this potential and you can take them far. But I think it takes to get through a few of what the hell is this to get to those points.
But I also think like this is really my genius zone about hustling up and being my back against the wall and having that adversity. Be like, all right.
Yeah.
Hustle game on 10.
Yeah.
So, because I even think about like moving out to White Ass New England when you started school and the amount of hustling I did to get on up and get going.
Exactly.
So, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't even think it's going to be an if. It's just a win.
Yeah.
And like I have like deadlines in my head.
Okay.
But just knowing that if those deadlines don't work out in my head, that
backup for the backup.
That I still didn't lose.
No.
Yeah.
No. You can't tie your worth to that anyway.
Right.
Alrighty. I mean, if we got to make it work, we got to make it work. Anything else? So we got a black love story.
Oh shit, we got some black love.
We got black. It's been a minute.
Niggas been hearing us. They been hearing our war cry.
We've been begging for a black love story. As always, to submit your black love story, you can go to www.blacklovematters.com/love story. Again, that's Black Love Matters. That's Black with no K. And we'll shout you out. So this week, our Black Love Story is to B and K, who have been together for almost 2 years and engaged for 5 months. This is amazing, right? I think we know of them. Like we've talked about them before.
Yeah.
Or through as I said, their story sounds familiar. It says, how did we first meet? It said we met through an online dating website, POF. That POF.
There are plenty of fish.
Yes, they sent us like a link to their stuff, and y'all cute. Can I say that? I know we're not gonna share. We ain't gonna share y'all link, but I'm looking through the site, and y'all cute. Right. I'm liking this wedding location too.
Shit,
and the date. We gonna RSVP.
We gonna RSVP.
No, the thing is, I don't want B and K cussing us out because ain't no joke. And B and K, y'all can speak to this. Ain't no joke when you plan no wedding, and especially if you dealing with nifty Negroes. I might be coming. I don't know. Can I bring my children? And I like how they said nicely at the bottom of their things. We want to include everyone, but this is only for adults. Don't bring your badass children.
We should write something like a guest book.
Yeah, I think we should. I'm looking at the registry too. The photos is cute.
Yeah.
All y'all wedding party is cute. Y'all is cute. Okay, let me get back to the story. What did each of you know? When did each of you know that your partner was the one? Neerams, you want to start?
Oh, my bad. I'm still looking at
Okay. I'm still looking at the website. He said, I knew early on, but 2 incidents stand out the most. I knew when I took her to my family reunion and when my boy got in his car accident. She was very concerned, caring about other people, and it's not always about her. I knew she would have my back. Mm-hmm. You know, it's something, when folks can integrate into your family, right?
And integrate very quickly
and smoothly, right? Because I think sometimes you deal with folks who take your family side too much, and you're like, wait a minute, we together, not them. Or be so in tune with you that they can't navigate that family experience. Because a lot of times folks say, I'm not marrying your family, I'm marrying you. Yeah and no. Although you're not marrying his family, if they have a relationship, it's different if that person doesn't have a relationship with their family, right? That's completely different. But if they have a relationship with their family, you're going to see Meemaw, Cousin Johnny, and them at the barbecue,
you're gonna see
right?
Papa now.
And you just can't walk away and go in your room and close your door. Well, I guess you could, but I don't recommend
shit, if
that.
they know anything like Nyambi's family, they'll bust up in their room anyway. Nigga,
are you asleep? What?
Nigga, you antisocial? Yo, bring your ass out here and say hi to me.
Let's speak. And then also, even when the friend was in the car accident, whenever you go through a rough situation, that's when you really should know who your ride or dies. Your ride or dies are the folks that are with you when all you need them to do is stand next to you and just be there in quietness, right? Or when this accident happened, if she was there days later, again, like when you're in the middle of it, right? It's not about when it actually happens or when it's over, but it's that in between time having folks there. Her perspective is, I knew very early on that this was different. Very early on that this was different. My aha moment was when we got into an argument and all I wanted to do was make up. He stayed by my side, but he also gave me just enough space. We slept in the bed that night and I slept with my back to him the whole time thinking this is so dumb. He was sleeping good too. Ooh, ain't that the worst when they be sleeping good after argument? I just wanted to turn over and kiss him. That's when I knew it was real. It's the worst when you be like, oh yeah, he better think about this. I want him to think about what he did. And they call him the damn hall. Sleeping good. Sleeping good.
Sleeping like a baby.
All I want you to do is toss and turn. Get bad sleep.
Sleeping good.
Sleeping good. And that is, Miriam, have you ever been in an argument with me? I know what happened to me. We'll be arguing. And like, I have my opinion, you have your opinion. But I'm like, fuck, I'm done. I give. Sure. Or no, you ever had
I'd be
that?
like, I'm sorry.
What? It's just not.
This is stupid.
We can both have 2 different opinions, right? I think this is the point of being, you can disagree without being disagreeable, right?
Right.
It's 2 different things.
Yeah. What is the key to success of your relationship? Communication. What the hell was that?
That was me.
Oh, shit. I'm about to get my knife.
Nirm is so scary.
I'm not.
Every little creak and crack in the house.
No.
He acting like a Great Dane. Looking at, little dogs be looking at the door like somebody there.
No. One of the things I was telling Nessa the One Hands Danny is that you got to keep your head on a swivel. And that's one thing I'm always doing. Quick story.
Jesus. Nothing's quick with Nirm.
No.
Go ahead. What's the
head on the swivel?
Yeah.
Like one of the things I was telling Danny is that every person I see, I try to make a mental note of what they look like, just in case I get robbed with some shit pop off. Oh my God. So every person, I'm like, red shirt, black pants, glasses.
Oh my God.
Low haircut, dreadlocks, glasses, Jordans.
Oh.
And like as soon as I see a person, I make a mental note just in case That motherfucker tried to come back and hit me
What
upside the
happened
head.
when we was at church and they had the food truck and they complimented you on
Oh, I almost punched the nigga in the throat. So y'all know I wear Cartier glasses. So for the niggas who know about that shit, you know, I'm wearing these Buffies, right? These Buffalo Buff. So this nigga was like, hey, cuz. So I ordered my food, and then he's like, hey, fam, I see you with them yays on. Them Buffies looking good. And I paused for a second. I almost punched that nigga in the throat.
You may never been nowhere saying nothing.
So that's the thing. Like in Detroit, when somebody compliments you on your glasses, you got to fight for your life because them bitches coming off your face.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's that Detroit to me. I almost punched his ass in the throat, but I forgot where I was at. I was in the church parking lot.
Yeah.
So I say, I'm going to wait to see if he going to bust a move. And he busting out. I say, well, thanks, fam. But it really had me thinking like, shit about to go down.
Yes.
I'm about to punch this nigga in the throat.
Yeah.
Because he's like, hey, fam. So I want to let you know, I see you with them Buffies on, man. Them bitches fly as fuck.
Yes.
What the fuck? Punch that nigga in the throat. So
come on.
That's what I mean by keeping the head on the swivel.
Come on.
Because in Detroit, when somebody do that,
yeah,
it's going down. Yeah, when somebody be like, hey, man.
That's really nice.
Yeah, especially with somebody you don't know. Hey, man, that's a nice watch you wear. What time is it?
What? No.
And then you look down, look at it. What? That nigga done popped you in the fucking face.
Oh my, Nero.
It's true story.
Can we get back to being Kay's love story?
I'm just saying.
Yes.
So this is what I mean by keeping the head on the swivel. So I heard that noise. I was about to grab a knife. I got to protect you.
Jesus, thank you.
So back to the story.
Sorry, being Kay.
Y'all niggas know I'm rough around the edges.
It is. We helping them.
The key to their relationship success: communication, understanding, and compromise. We allow each other. We allow each other to be ourselves. We also have a lot of fun together. He says, making sure she doesn't go to bed mad because I just be chilling. LOL. Seriously, it works. No magic trick. We are equally yoked.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. I think when they said understanding and compromise and allowing ourselves to be ourselves, I think that's why what was that? We talked about Tam and Denny, that being authentically you. That's something I think I'm adding to my love story definition. To be authentically who you are is huge.
Yeah.
Next, they said, what advice would you give young married couples? It says, we aren't married yet. Wedding's coming. But keep God first, or whoever you believe in. We go to church just about every Sunday and we pray together and for each other. Next, have fun, laugh together, and according to him, have fun by yourself too. I think that's important, right? You know, everyone has to have like their life and their thing that they're working on and the thing that they're doing. So I think that's super, super important. Mm-hmm. Next is keep your business in-house and don't let outside people come in between you two. Ditto, ditto, ditto. Next, be honest with each other. Don't let things said and arguments be taken personally. And lastly, don't be ashamed to ask your partner for help. That's a big one that I've been talking about with friends lately. Like a girlfriend was like, Nyambi, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh, well, tell your boo to do it. And it was like a pause. And, I did deeper to be like, well, why you don't feel, Yeah. And I didn't even think it was nothing going on. But I think she even had this moment like, why don't I ask this Negro to do it? It could have been simple as he got a lot of stuff going on too, right? And that's when you talk with your friends and say, well, how can we do it more efficiently? But it's like, this is why you have your other half. To ask for help and to be vulnerable and be in that space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the last question is, anything else you want to tell us about your love story? It says, be open to meeting your partner in the most unexpected places. We never thought we would ever meet our soulmates online, but there we are, engaged and planning our future together. That's really true. I never thought I'd meet Nero where I allegedly meet Nero. We done said so many different stories. We really don't know where we met.
My story is the most truest.
What did you say? The most truest?
The most truest.
And mine's not?
No. Because you always want some type of fairy tale shit, and it just didn't happen. I'm just looking at their pictures, though.
Niram is still looking at y'all webpage.
Yes.
Niram, don't be RSVPing for some shit we wouldn't get invited to. Don't do this. Don't do that. I'm very particular about stuff like writing a guest book.
If y'all see something from there and Nyambi, just disregard. Unless you really want us to come.
Because we'll come.
We'll fuck around.
I love wedding. I think this is the first year. And actually, I was going to say we're not invited to a wedding. But we actually invited to a wedding, a vow renewal. And I'm a little sad we can't make it to. Because it's our really good friends.
Oh, I ain't getting no invite for that.
Yes, we did. You just didn't check the email. But the time is a little off. But this is the first year, like, no weddings. No one. Mm-hmm. Right? And I love weddings.
We need to get some younger friends.
Oh. You see that? We talked about the episode. We're divorce season. We at where is we just clean wine glasses together. It's all right, sis.
Right.
So okay, bruh, do what you got to do. We should be getting more wedding invites in what, about 4 or 5 years?
Right.
We got a little more money.
Yeah, we need to get some more younger friends.
That was a beautiful love story.
Mm-hmm. They're a beautiful couple too.
I did like them. I really like y'all website too. Mm-hmm. Y'all gonna have a good time. All right, some pillow talking in your rooms.
What we got?
Let's talk about this DNA case.
Okay.
Since we've been out here, y'all, this is the biggest story. Well, first of all, where have Nyambi been to not even know this was happening?
Well, first of all, since we did the move, my TV watching time or news watching time has been like nil, like 30 minutes, or probably less than that.
Yeah.
Because like I've just been so busy doing other shit that I really haven't had time. And then it just hit me. I was like, oh shit, we got a podcast to do. I need to look at the news
to see what's happening in the world,
so
right?
we can talk about it. Yeah.
So this is the thing. So the DNA basically from a genealogical, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Genealogical, whatever, site called a serial killer, 23andMe. No, I'm just joking. So this is something that was happening huge out here on the West Coast, and he's called the Golden State Killer. So more than 3 decades after his trial went cold, one of California's most prolific serial killer was caught when investigators matched crime scene DNA with genetic material stored by a relative on an online. Am I saying this word right? Genealogical?
Genealogy.
Oh shit, we don't fuck that up. You don't know them websites we talking about?
23andMe.
Yeah, but 23andMe is private, so they don't got it. But they have like ones that are public,
like open source.
Yeah, so this is not like 23andMe. All that stuff is closed source, but the other ones are more open. And if you just have your in the system, they can freely give it out. So authorities have said the DNA tied former police officer Joseph James D'Angelo, who's 72, to most of the 12 killings he's accused of committing between 1976 and 1986 as part of the Golden State Killer case. Investigators also alleged that D'Angelo raped more than 50 women during that period. Authorities declined to name the DNA site used to track the DNA. That's what Naomi got something to say about this. Companies such as Ancestry.com and 23andMe charge customers to use their DNA to produce genetic profiles to determine ethnicity and can identify long-lost relatives, among other services. Both companies said on Thursday that they weren't involved in a case against D'Angelo. The district attorney said investigators obtained this DNA last week from discarded materials that ended up matching DNA at a crime scene. Police received thousands of tips over the years, but D'Angelo's name has not been on the radar for law enforcement before last week. In other developments, D'Angelo is suspected in, like I said, that 1975 killing of the community college teacher that they go on. I think her name is called Sneely, in a farming community about 40 miles south of Fresno. If this link is confirmed, it will boost the number of victims to 13 in the serial killer. D'Angelo serial killing case. D'Angelo worked for the police officer. Worked as a police officer in a town called Exeter from 73 to 76. And it goes on from there.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? First, there's 2 different things I'm talking about. So I don't talk about this serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Him being old. And then the second piece, I'm talking about the DNA piece.
Well, I guess I won't be doing no 23andMe.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Ancestry.com. But you know what? That's something that we talked about in one of our
classes. Is that the small print? Like, well, first of all, let's talk about this bastard.
Yeah.
So this is a fucking police officer. Done raped 50 women and done what? And done killed 13 motherfuckers. And ain't nobody caught his ass. And he got the nerve to get on this screen looking sad. Take your old ass to jail. Line him up.
Mm-hmm.
Walk him. You know, it looked like he just surrendered. Like,
look, yeah,
he about to die.
He about to die.
Yeah, he about to die. But what the fuck is that? Jesus, 70-something years old. This has been on since the 70s, so 50 damn years.
Right. Look, you caught me.
Now I don't know who the police who was treating this case like a dog with a bone. They let it go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. 2018.
Yeah.
From sometime in 1976.
Right.
And so somebody's still checking data and shit?
Yeah.
That was personal, honey.
That was personal.
I think that's a Lifetime movie in itself. You know, hats off to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But wow. Yeah, his ass gotta go to jail. I don't have no comment. His ass gotta, that's between him and his maker right now.
Mm-hmm.
His ass gotta go to jail, though.
True.
I don't know. California don't got death penalty. Yeah, his ass gonna be jail for the rest of his life.
Just like Bill Cosby, his ass going to jail.
Yeah, for the rest of their lives, and it's between them and the makers. Right?
Yeah, they ain't got much time, so they gonna die up in there anyway.
Yeah,
They probably gonna go to the jail,
the old people's,
the old people jail home.
Yeah,
The
I mean
senior
that'd be
citizens
best. Yeah, you
jail
gotta
house.
treat. Although he treated people like animals, that's not just because he did. Don't mean we treat him as an animal, right?
Right.
So yeah, he can go to his home so he can have his medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he gotta go to jail. I don't have no 76, 50 women. Ain't nobody know what was going on.
Somebody know.
Somebody did know.
Especially back then when the police was really
somebody did
close
know,
knit.
honey.
They knew his ass was fucking.
And let alone rape. And rape is awful. But he done killed 13 people.
Mm-hmm.
What type of? They need to get criminal minds on him. Like, what was the purpose in that?
Mm-hmm. Him being the police. And do what the fuck he want to do.
I don't have much to say. I hope the families get a little teensy bit. He don't got no money. Can't get no money from him.
No.
I hope the family have a little healing.
Get some healing from this.
Oh my God.
But can we talk about the other thing?
Yeah, the other thing I want outside of this, that motherfucker do need to go to jail.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Him and Bill Cosby just go. Bye bye.
But the thing that got me on this that I want to talk to the community about is this DNA shit though. Wait a motherfucking minute. Because colonizers and nifty Negroes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they can go get data from somebody else or DNA, who said that they can't? This DNA can't get in the wrong hands and to be used in a negative way.
Exactly.
Who can't plant DNA? Y'all, this is getting scary.
So
with them having your DNA, they can put you anywhere. Even if you got an alibi, you can say my DNA. Oh my God, that's scary.
They don't destroy none of this shit either.
No, well, the Mormons.
No.
The Mormons got something.
They be on that shit. And they do not destroy anything. And I think that's one of the things that really scares me about Ancestry.com and 23andMe is that A, none of the shit gets destroyed, but B, you can see with like larger companies, what all happens is one company buy another and another company buy another. And then next thing you know, one big ass company bought it and they done used it for their own rights. And next thing you know, you got the motherfuckers cloning people and shit.
And what rights? I've never did, and I want to do it, right? I've never did this DNA thing, but what rights do they have to your DNA? Like, are we talking about some heliocells type shit? So can they do like experiments on this? Like, what can they do with your DNA?
I don't know.
Like, do they own it? Like one of them things. Like once you give it over,
yes,
it's mine.
I would assume so. Even if their terms and services don't say that.
They say it now.
The thing is, they can always change their terms and services.
Jeez.
And the things about that is that it says in the terms and services that they can change it at any time without any notice to anything they want to. So that's like the same thing with like this Facebook shit and like this social media shit. Like even though they got terms of agreements, but they can change that shit at any time without your permission. So that's what I'm saying about companies buying companies and acquiring shit just for they can get access to these DNAs.
Oh my God.
These DNA.
It can be very tricky, right?
Yeah.
It's scary, right? Like, I want to be clear. Like, I'm glad that they caught this person, right, in this. But I just worry about what happens when it gets in the wrong hands and it's being abused.
Right.
And
it's like the other extreme. Yeah.
What are the ethical
ramifications
of this? So when they say DNA can't lie, so when does it become like, well, I'm here, and they're like, well, we see your DNA there.
Yeah.
So what does that mean then, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't duplicate. I thought this was scary.
It is scary. It is really eye-opening shit.
And it's not even his DNA. That's the T.
Yeah.
It's a relative's.
Right.
So shit. So it ain't even about you having it. So if your cousin, auntie, mom, or somebody else did it, they already got a link to you.
Right. God damn it.
And for all the folks, and I even think about this further. So when folks start going to jail and getting fingerprints, now are we gonna require DNA? Like, with that whole process, like, and so you have a whole warehouse of, oh my God,
of DNA. That shit is crazy.
I need some of the folks who study this to go ahead and write into us and let us know the implications for this.
Yes,
because I'm sure it's something that I'm not even thinking of right now.
But that's what they want to do, though. Like, one of the people say that they want to catalog every single genotype and DNA. So how else do they think they're gonna do that other than create a service where people feel like they finding their roots and then
don't
collect?
do that.
No, I'm just saying.
You said
though.
allegedly.
Allegedly finding their roots.
Don't do that.
And then what they collecting these genotypes from it, and then they're able to have access to. I'm telling you. Mark my words.
Don't say they just making up stuff. They doing rolling the. They doing the Excel file and hit random.
Right.
And be like, this where you from?
If it already hasn't happened now, it's going to happen eventually where a company is going to buy this shit. Yeah. They're going to buy 23andMe. They're going to buy Ancestry.com.
Yeah, who owns them?
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Who owns these
It's just like these other companies that got all these other shell companies under it. Hell, they might probably already been bought.
Oh, my God. And just keep the name to make people feel safe.
Exactly.
You know, since being out here in Silicon Valley, it's been a lot of that controversy type stuff that I'm like, oh, that company own what? And they doing who? They gonna do what to who? What?
Right.
Watch it. What Cardi B said? You gonna do what to who?
She said she gonna
do
who?
what?
What to who? Let's find out.
See.
But it's even
if
think about
y'all want to
it.
know where the gangsters at, the gangsters in Silicon Valley.
Because you even think about this, like one of the things I was doing, because I'm looking for jobs and things of that sort. So, for example, Facebook, I just typed in what companies do Facebook own, and then found all the shit that Facebook own, and be like, damn, they own all this, and didn't even know. Like, what the hell is this shit?
Yeah.
So I think that's the crazy stuff. Like, all right, they own WhatsApp. They own Oculus. They own, they own all these other stuff. Instagram. They tried to buy Snapchat. So you just think about all these other companies that's buying stuff and like having these mergers. And, eventually what happens is they keep the CEO on that company. But eventually what happens? The CEO gets tired or because they got they're going in a different route and then they leave. So for example, the new shit just happened. Like the CEO of WhatsApp just left. Because he felt like Facebook was going in a different direction of what he wanted WhatsApp to be. But what? He done sold it to WhatsApp for these billions of dollars, and now he ain't got no control over it no more.
Y'all making my head spin.
And who's to say that this won't happen to these DNA companies?
Yeah,
it's going to be a way that they can be able to take this DNA and go ahead and turn this shit into like some VR type shit.
Or AI type
shit.
You know it. Y'all, it's so hard, right? It's these dissonance and problems we've been having, right? So I'm so excited that they caught this crazy bastard, but at the same time, wait, how they catch him? And what company said they ain't gonna reveal?
Right.
What's going on? Right?
Yeah.
Like how I'm trying. Y'all know this is how we work through on therapy, right? I'm trying to navigate through this, right? To say yes, catch that motherfucker,
right?
But damn, wait a minute. How we gonna skip and go through the back door and get his DNA?
Right.
And did that person who released the DNA, did they at least reach out to that family member to ask for permission to you? I don't like this.
Or get a subpoena or whatever you need
get something. Even if you got a subpoena, I don't care because you get object to subpoena. You know what? My touch by white hands is coming out. Wait a minute. But I only say that, and again, I know I'm losing my lens, right? So I only have the lens of being a brown woman, semi-educated, right? Having a few experiences in my lives to see how people in power take advantage of situations like this, right? So I think situations we all initially come in, it's supposed to be for the good, right? So for cases like that, you are supposed to catch dirty old bastards like this. But we know from our experiences, it's traditionally used to harm people in our communities.
Yes.
And that's what I worry about.
Because that's eventually what it's going to get down to.
It's going, now we're up here with the big stuff, catching killers and serial killer and rapists. But when do we get to the part when we use it on petty shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that's like a jump, but that's where it goes.
That's where it goes. Like,
I think back to like when the drug was huge and like folks be planting drugs. I'm like, I think back to that stuff. Y'all help me with this. Maybe I'm being overly sensitive.
No, I just think about civil rights warfare.
Yeah.
So say I think about Black Lives Matter and somebody want to really do harm to those folks and say they then went ahead and did their ancestry, posted on social media, and then this billionaire go buy that company and then do some fucked up shit with their DNA.
That only costs a little bit of money, honey. Come on.
Because they what? Billionaires.
And y'all know, near when y'all know I be jumping. I ain't telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know and what I done seen. So when I shared that story, I was like, yeah, finally, police doing police work. And I was like, shit, wait a minute. Is there any research, like, who studies that? I don't know what you call an ethical researcher. Like, these are ethical questions, right?
It is.
And think about it, y'all. Y'all let us know how y'all feel. You know we processing. This is therapy for us.
Right.
So let us know how y'all feel. Let us know on Shout Out Friday y'all thoughts on it. Next, I was gonna say this lighter, but I guess it's not. Y'all, if I see North Korea, first of all, let me put respect on their name. Who are these gentlemen?
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un and
I don't know who the other guy is.
I forgot his name. Chick, can you help find his name? I want to put respect on his name.
Oh, okay.
They keep holding hands.
They keep holding hands and hugging each other.
Shout out to North and South Korea. Looks like they finally.
Oh, Moon Jae-in.
Moon Jae-in. Yeah, I want to put respect on his name. Finally, they've allegedly come to a truce. I don't know. What is the word we use here?
I don't know.
A truce. They stopped and fucking with each other for a second. Because they just was fucking with each other for a minute. Like, just poking. Just each keep poking the damn bear.
Right.
Kim Jong-un was really had a really long pokey stick.
Right, with them damn rockets and shit.
Yeah, doing testing. Oh, we just doing it over here. What the fuck? No, you just don't fly rockets over the country. Like, just disrespectful shit. So I'm happy for them and that they did this. I hope this isn't a symbol. I hope this is something that they're truly, diving into, and Korea as a nation to kind of finally be united more so. Like, of course it's two separate countries, but it won't be such a clear distinction. Well, how many years was it since somebody from each of the countries like stepped foot? Like, it was, they weren't even stepping foot.
Right.
1 foot on the land, right? And let's be clear, these clear countries are connected.
Right.
Like, it's connected, it's invisible boundaries, right? These things that white men set up and say, this is where you don't cross, right? These types of things. So I'm happy for them. Let's read a little bit what the article says. So we got this one from USA Today. It says Korean analyst Barry Belchman said this means the two countries want to decide their future without the United States or China imposing on them, which I'm happy for that.
Meaning they're going to team up and bomb our ass.
Nero. Let's hope not.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, America, we got to play more nice. Like, we got to play better. We got to play, like, we can't be dicks. Like, we can no longer be dicks. That's not how you navigate in this space, right? So can you blame them?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they like,
this is just 101, right? America on some fuck shit, fine. Can we come to a consensus? Okay, cool, right? The problem is that the two superpowers would have to participate in peace negotiations between North and South that oversee the complicated and long process that could end up with the U.S. withdrawal from the Korean Peninsula. But also I'm talking about more the positive thing. We talk a little uplifting, so it can resolve humanitarian issues. Folks who were separated by that war, that can be finally unified. It's been years, like decades, since like the 50s, since they've been unified. Infrastructure improvement. Cease the hostile acts, like you said, all them rockets and shit can slow down. Complete the denuclearization and a nuclear-free Korean Peninsula. Like, it's some really good stuff coming from this. So I'm happy that they're combining. Good for them. But I know all I kept saying, every time I turned the TV, they kept hugging.
Yeah. And then Donald Trump ass taking credit for it, talking about, and not all his MAGA supporters talking about he should get a Nobel Peace Prize.
When he said that, and I was I'm teasing about them hugging and holding hands. Good for them, right? I know they're celebrating. And then here he come talking about he done have a seat, sir.
I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize.
Have a seat. What year are we in his presidency? How many years he been president?
One.
I
don't know.
Oh wait, 2. I got nervous.
2. Shit.
This is the longest.
When is 2020?
What? It's only 2018. It's time to get him out of here. All right, now we doing kitchen table talk, or we gonna say that for Friday?
Let's go ahead and knock it out.
All righty then. So to submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, be sure to shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. That's blacklovematters@gmail.com. It's the question that we got from Alana from Shout Out Friday, and it says, I would love if you all, Elena or Alana, I think I always mess up her name.
I'm going to say Elena.
I'm so sorry. Names are bad. I need to make that a
personal. It's an I in there, so I'm going to say Lane.
Elena, I'm so sorry. It says, I would love if you two discuss why am I reading like Nero? Discuss what you think of the various perspectives of God, Jesus, and the grand architect that Nero discussed, and how you manage those beliefs in your relationship. I asked out of curiosity because I have been churched, air quote, for many years now and keep hearing about equally yoked, air quote. I pray that God's continual miracles, blessing for you two. You will blow up. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I don't know why I was reading. I'm kind of tired.
Yeah.
I am tired.
It is.
You want to start first, Nero? So you want to talk about, it's two questions. So what do you think the varying perspective? I'm not sure if she mean our perspectives on God or the grand architect. And then I got kind of how do we navigate them in relationships? Because I think ours are slightly different. I think at the core it's the same, but I think in how we execute it and how we celebrate and the rituals around it may be different. But you want to go first or me?
I guess I can go first because, people be looking at me.
I think mine's maybe a little more clear.
Yeah, because people be looking at me and looking at, how Naomi with this nigga, he don't believe in no Jesus. So, like
I do love the Lord. I go if I had to by myself.
So, like I said, I think it was Friday when we got this. Like, I'm not an atheist in that. Like, I'm just
no. Niram's not an atheist. He do believe.
Like, I'm just a Gnostic.
Yeah.
And, and I personally just don't believe in the whole Jesus story, and I don't believe in. Yeah. I know the Bible's written by a man and multiple men, and I just feel like some of the stuff in there are letters or journal entries that wasn't meant for people to be read.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel like, because I think about, like, who the fuck is Paul, and why the fuck Paul get to have all these letters? You know what I'm saying? Like, who gave this nigga the right to have all these letters and writing them to shit and writing them in his journal and shit like that, and people being published? And like, who's the motherfucker who had the right to be like,
bring it all together?
I don't like these letters when he talk about the Lord or talk about Jesus. Or I just even think about the lost gospel. So, the stories when Jesus was 13 and shit and being bad.
You say and being bad?
He was bad. Like, if you read, like, because I read the lost gospel. So, like, there's different stories up in there about how, Jesus, like, 13 being bad. He killed.
Doing 13-year-old things.
Yeah, he like killed somebody. And then he's like, oh shit. And then he brought him back to life. And then he got like a whoop. And like,
yeah, I know. I've read it. Yeah.
So, like, why was those stories up in there? So I just think for me, and like,
because Negroes. Yeah, go ahead.
But and just thinking about the whole institute on how the Bible was brought together, and how there were so many Bibles, there were so many deities being celebrated that Constantine and whoever else was like, we need to shut all this shit down and make it one. And for me and my gamma thinking, no, I'm not going to subscribe to any of those things. I'd rather subscribe to, I know there's a higher being. I don't think his name is Jesus. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what it looked like. But for me, my higher being is within myself. And knowing that the things that I speak life into are the things that come into fruition, and the things I don't speak life into don't come into fruition. And I think that, when it really comes down to it, is that just living to, like, what is the golden rules? Treat people how you want to be treated, or hell, treat people how you want people to treat your mama.
Yeah.
And like, it's just living at that rate.
Yeah.
And like, not being constrained to any type of institute, whether it's the synagogue, the church, or whatever to celebrate.
The practices, right? Religion. I think religion and spirituality are two different things.
Yes. And being, because y'all know I'm a non-traditionalist, so being tied to any of those traditional practices. And like, growing up, like, it was a very religious family.
Yeah.
Like, I went to New Bethel Baptist Church, which is Aretha Franklin's daddy's church.
Theo Franklin. Come
on. And like, growing up, like, I hated going to church. Like, every Sunday, I just remember crying.
Oh my goodness.
And just crying my ass
I would say,
off.
well, you ain't kicking with the kids' church. Church was some of my fondest memories. I probably didn't pay attention as much as I should have.
No, I had the hard ass candy with pieces of lint on it.
Because your mama didn't let you play with the kids.
No.
You ain't go to like the kids' church.
No.
Or Sunday school.
New Bethel didn't have no kids' church.
Oh, just the grown up church.
It was just the grown up.
Y'all had Sunday school. Oh, you ain't go?
I didn't go.
Oh, okay. See, that's what you was missing out.
But like, you know, even that stuff, like I've been baptized like 5-6 times and shit. And it's like every time I go down south for the summer, it was like,
put them in the water.
Nero, you been baptized? Yes, I was baptized. Oh, that boy ain't been baptized.
Throw him in the water.
Put that nigga in the water. And be baptized and be like, oh, you saved? Nah. And they see the pastor do some funny shit with my cousin.
Hey.
So like for me and just me personally, like instead of just, you know, thumbing my finger and thumbing my nose at whoever, you know, at whatever religion is, whether it's Christianity, Buddhism, Muslims, and things of that sort, I'd rather just say my higher being is my higher being and keep it as agnostic versus like picking one and being like, well, I'm Buddhist. And like, well, I don't even mess with y'all Christians. I don't believe none of that Christian shit y'all doing.
Yeah.
Or be like, I'm Muslim. Well, I don't believe none of that Christian or I'm Christian, so I don't know what the fuck y'all Muslims and Buddhists doing, or you know, any things like that. I'd rather just celebrate the diversity of all the religions. Take from what I believe in from each and one of them, and call it my higher being. Call it the grand architect of the universe, and leave it as that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the folks already know my stance. I love the Lord. I believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And I like to say all three. A lot of times we don't talk about that Holy Ghost. I believe it's true. But more importantly, I like to say I love Jesus. I believe he died on that cross. And he rose again for me. But no, I agree completely with what you're saying there. Like I said, I think folks kind of understand my view on religion and what I believe in. I consider myself Christian, but I'm not for the bullshit. Yep, I said that all in the same sentence. Like I said, I'm working on a crooked path, right? You know, there's flaws within the Christianity belief, right? In how we treat people and how we isolate people. And that's something we have to work on. And that's something that I don't ascribe to. Like, you know, I consider myself to, you know, love the Lord, but I love all people, right? And I think everyone has their right to their religion, their God, their beliefs, and how they navigate within that, right? I think that's something that always surprises folks that go to church with me. I'm like, wait a minute, you can't be talking crazy about the Muslims, the Buddhists. I'm hoping to meet everybody in our promised land. Look, I hope it's a what's it called, a commuter trail, so we can go to each other's heavens, honey. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very big on everyone has their own spiritual walk. And it's okay for everybody to have their own spiritual walk, right? Because I think when I think about, you know, God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, I think it's very personal, right? You know, I go to church more as a form of discipline for me in my personality style, right? For me and my personality style, I need that routine to get me in the right mind frame to snap me out of it. But I tell people all the time, you don't got to go to church to have a relationship with God at all. I'm a firm believer that you do not have to be in church every Sunday to have a relationship with God. You can create your own church right where you are, in your closet, in your bed, wherever you at, right? So I am a believer about that, but I just do it personally because I know me, right? I need to physically be in the house of the Lord, right? To help center myself. Also, when I think of my religion, I don't center it around man. Like, man is very flawed. The pastor, whoever it is, everybody got a past, everybody got a future, right? So I think it's very important for me not to focus necessarily on the people, but in the actions of God. I'm trying to see. I think making it work for us is kind of what Nero said. So the idea, the respect, right? For the respect and the tolerance in I'm missing another word, for other religions and their beliefs, right? Because I think that's something to it. Because I think a lot of folks do it. So Christians do it, Buddhists do it, Muslims do it, even people who don't believe in anything do it. When you put down other folks for their beliefs, I have a problem with that, regardless of how folks feel. And that's a non-negotiable for me. But the fact that Nero, although he has his feelings of how he moves forward, he'll never neglect, put down someone, or try to undermine someone else's feelings and expressions, right? I think kind of what we said earlier, we can disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable, right? You know, them two different things. You can completely disagree on how some things are done. And on Nyambi, Niram tells me I don't want to go. Niram say, oh, Nyambi, I don't go to church every Sunday, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's a way we can do that and not be disagreeable. And I also think what helps us is that Niram and I, our core values are similar, right? So be kind to each other, right? Treat other people as you want to be treated, right? You know, try not to see the evil in people. Like, you know, all these are core values of almost all the religions, right? And if you can meet on that ground, I think that's what's huge. And we already had the conversation early on, which is a hard conversation you have to have when you're dating, is if we have kids. Because people are like, well, what do you do to have kids? I was like, we already talked about that. Our kids are going to be exposed to both. And the hope is for them to choose. Like, even me, you know, both my parents grew up believing in the Lord. And I would say my father grew up in a very religious household,
Right.
like very religious household, meaning that the church stepped in, right? So my father lost his father when he was 6. And so his mother had 11 children by herself with not having a driver's license and no job.
Right.
So that's when the church stepped in and showed out. Her job was working for the church. So that's all they knew. But still, as a child, like I was even baptized later in life, like meaning my darn near 30,
Right.
because that was something that wasn't pushed on me. Was I dedicated to the church, meaning that, we'll try to guide and show her the light. But it in my family, it's always been choice is strong. And I think that's tied back to the Christian religion, being that you have to choose, right? So, I think we've already talked about when we have kids, they're just going to be exposed to both, right? And, on my end, of course, I plan on dedicating our children to say, I'm going to do my best as a Christian woman to show them God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and what it's done for me. But ultimately, it's up to them to then decide what they want. I think by them having a father like Niram, who's not going to talk negatively about either way, that's what then helps it, right? You know what I'm saying? I want to get to the point where, like, when you ask your kids, like, describe who they are, I want them to be like, I'm a critical thinker.
Right.
I'm thoughtful in what I do. I'm empathetic, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm able to break big problems down to small problems. Like, we hope to raise children who are able to see the beauty in all these things, right? So if they decide that they some other religion, right? But it's important for me more than anything for them to have a spiritual walk somehow. If that's through something else, fine. That's between them and their maker, right? But I think that's what makes it. And we open, I guess, being touched by white hands a little bit.
But also they'd be like, I'm really big into like personal development. So like Niram loves his personal development books. He, those are the things that he really believes in. And also essence that, most of that personal development stuff has some type of spiritual undertone to it.
Because I think we both believe at a core, we didn't get here on our own.
Right.
Nothing. So we're talking about personally, professionally, every step. Like, this is just not us on our own, right? We're all put here for a bigger purpose and a meaning and goal to move forward. And we agree on those things. Now, how we execute it or what it looks like, that might look slightly different. But I think if we can take it and be bare bones with it, that's what you can get to. But it's about having that clear and transparent conversation. Like, I have friends that won't be acceptable enough.
Yeah.
If you can't be right next to that person in church every Sunday, it's not going to work. And that's fine. It's fine to say that. But I think you have to know what your non-negotiables are, right? And don't get me wrong, I pray for Niram every time I pray. Every time I go to church, all the time, right? So, it's never been that type of, I don't know, a sense of
trepidation. The word I'm looking for, I want to say aggression, but that's not the word. Yeah. But that down-putting of, you do, like for example, I know atheists that's like, you believe in that religion shit. Fucking stupid. Like, what type of,
that's not how, that's so disrespectful.
Right? You put your mind into this, but and it's like, that's not cool.
Especially being in academia, right? Yeah. So in academia, that's where you find a lot of atheists, right? Because they are men of science. I like to say I'm a woman of science and God, right? I believe the Lord created the science.
So, and I think that's I really think that's where it really comes down to is just respecting someone's choices and being able to see the good, bad, and ugly, but also see like
it's good sometimes. Yeah. It's good in it, right? Yeah. It's good to want to be nice to people,
right?
It's good to want to build community,
right?
It's good to want to help other people, right? It's good to know that we're all here to make a difference. It's good to know that our goal is to make it better for the next folks who's coming behind us, right? It's good things. It's not bad things. So. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I never really thought about it, but I think it's kind of our personality too.
Right. Yeah. And another thing, like, Nyambi prays, I do affirmations. Like, who's to say that's not the same thing?
Yeah, some people argue it is. Well, I have folks ask me all the time, what do you think the difference is between praying, meditation, and affirmations? I don't know. It could be the same, honey. It is.
Exactly. So, when it comes down to it, for me, I think that's one and the same.
As long as you're connecting, right? It's about that. I think we get so hung up on labels, right? So I think that's a very American thing. It's a very westernized thing. It's getting caught up on labels and having to label every single thing we do. And just can't let. That's why I say I try to call it a long walk and a spiritual journey. That's a lot of times I'm getting into that. They're like, I'm on a long walk and I'm on a spiritual journey. And I'm going to have good days and I'm going to have real, real bad days. Yeah. That's why we don't hear cussing and fussing sometimes.
But also just being like, and I know you mentioned, but also letting your partner cook. So like you said, for some people, seeing that your partner to them next to them at church,
Yeah,
Bible
that's
study,
a non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable.
And if it's a non-negotiable, you need to know who you with.
Right. But if it's not, it's not. But because like Naomi said, I go if I need to by myself.
So I go if I have to by myself. And that's why I always think a spiritual walk is so personal. And that's why I'm sometimes surprised when people ask me about kids. I was like, well, I can't die with them. Like, I can't, I bring life into this world, right? But I can't step in and have that and hold that relationship for them and God. I can get them baptized as many times as I want to, but that don't mean a relationship with them and their maker. That's something they have to do. That's personal. It's my job as a parent to help guide this little human to getting to that point, right? And giving them the skills necessary. But I physically can't make this relationship happen. Just like with your partner, I can't physically make my partner or Niram do something that he doesn't want to do, or have a connection that he doesn't have, or have a belief that he don't want to have, right? So I think that's what it comes down to. It's so personal to me that it's you and your maker. Right. And that's it. That is it. Nobody else got nothing to do with it. It's you and your maker.
But I also think that, one of the things that the tenets of being a Christian is like converting people, and like you not having that aspect of your life.
I don't think I don't interpret it as converting people. I just interpret it as sharing the good word. And the way I share the good word is like, dang, Nayambi, you got all da-da-da-da. How you do that? God. Do you know, like, I know some people like, I'm not a recruiter for Jesus. Jesus don't need no recruiters. Jesus is Harvard. Like,
but some people, but that's how some people believe though.
I don't need a recruiter. You want to know what he done did? Look. And y'all know the path I walk. Nice and crooked. Nice and jagged. Cliffs. Did I climb back up the cliff? The Lord, right? So that's how I view and you interpret it, right? Because it's all of an interpretation. That's the other thing. The Bible is an interpretation. How do you spread the good word of God? How do you say it? Because when things go down, it's him. I love when Nia say, he said he plagiarized the Lord because the Lord wrote his dissertation. Come on. He done wrote plenty of papers for me. So that's how I interpret it. That's how I spread the good word. And as you say, convert. When folks, because after a while, when folks keep asking you who did it, Jesus, who did it, God, who did the Holy Ghost, well, introduce me to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, because he's making moves. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I see it. Because I even had people be like, even friends will put themselves like, Naya, I see you really, like, I know you always love the Lord, but you serious up in this walk. Like, I need to get like that. I was like, hey, that's between you and your maker, but I tell you what it did for me. So that's how I see it. I don't see it as an act of like, y'all going to hell if you, I don't know where you're going.
But some people
all I can tell you is where I am going.
But some people do though. True. And I think that's the beauty of our relationship is that it's really give and take, and it's really especially when we can put like solid ground rules, like, all right, babe, like, I'm not really into church or whatever.
But I need my prayer time. I love the Lord. I'm going to church on Sunday. Or something. Yeah.
I know you need all those things, but not even participate. But just know me participating is me supporting you versus me trying to come to the other side or anything like that.
Yeah, because it has to be authentic. Yeah. I think we done mumbled on enough. I hope that helped a little. Maybe we can have an episode where we really bring folks who, do we know any young folks who are actually, I know people, but I ain't that close with.
Right.
I mean, if they spreading the good word of the Lord, they never should turn that down, huh?
Yeah.
Come on. Maybe this new high-tech pastor in Silicon Valley might.
Maybe.
He might be the type to come over here and spread the good word. What do you think?
He might.
I think he would. We'll see. So we'll try to get maybe more experts, I would say, who's really in it. And, like I said, we just give you Niram Nayambi opinion. But maybe we can see some men of the cloth and maybe some folks who are atheists and get them to have a conversation and see kind of what other folks are thinking, right? Because it's the same thing. So we're even talking about believing and not believing, but what about the folks who are Jewish or, Hindu or Buddhist? Like all type of religious type relationships go on. And people are happy and make it work.
Right.
All right. Or the folks who do a combo, right? I know folks who do a hybrid of Buddhist and Christianity. Like people do these things. Like to submit your Black love stories, go to blacklovematters.com. And to submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us the email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. And to leave a comment about anything that we talked about today, you can do that on blacklovematters.com, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. And be sure to leave us a voicemail at 508-784-1111. Again, that's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. And remember,
love is ever evolving.
Peace.